day. And if there's a genre of music that you like, feel free to put it into chat and we'll try and find it. I have a huge database to pick from. And with that said, the final quarterfinal ticks down. And we're about to see the start of Carl versus Clutch. For one of these captains, it's the end of the line. They don't even know it yet. The game has begun and this will be their last game in the tournament. And for one, they will progress to the semi-finals, the round of 4. 4 captains will remain. From there, 2 semi-finals will be held next week. And from there on, the grand final. I can't wait. It's going to be great. Now we have some wood chopping enjoyers on the south moving out to the west. And 1 or 2 to the north, but not many. A couple of players heading up top. A couple of rock enjoyers here. I'm sure that a little power block can go down in this area. There's plenty of room there for a beginning power base. Meanwhile, as I spoke about earlier on, and it's been a while since I've drawn anything on the screen. Let's do that for a second whilst we watch the game kind of begin. I believe, or it's my belief that, you only really have 2 choices here. You either build to the left or to the right. Since there's this massive lake here, the lake kind of nullifies your north or southern build. So with this enormous open area here, I believe that both teams will opt for some level of smelting in this particular area. With that being said, you could argue power could go down here. Maybe. I don't hate it. It's not the end of the world. So if let me use this actually. I found a new feature. This didn't work a couple of days ago, and I don't know how big the text is. Right? Oh, this is sick. Yeah, let's do this. Right? Let's label the map a little bit. Smelting. That's kind of cool. I like that. I like that feature, man. That's so much cleaner than me just drawing boxes and stuff, right? But power to the left, smelting to the right, and then threat farm, right? Let's go. Let's just put that as shooty men's. Yeah, shooty men's. And then you send your shooty men's down south. Right? They go this way. The shooty men's. There are loads of features within this program, by the way. It's a Python script that got written that you can adapt, and I'm still, even to this day, finding out new features to this thing. It's just about being good with IT and programming, which I'm not. I know some stuff, but some stuff I don't. And as I've gotten older, I'm willing to concede to the fact that I don't know some stuff. And some stuff I do know. And that's all right, We all have gaps in our knowledge. We all have things that we're experts at too. And I feel like when I was a younger man, I was a lot more harder-headed. I thought I knew everything when I was 18, 19 years old, and I didn't. I knew very little compared to what I know now. And this famous saying goes, you don't know what you don't know. But that maximum strength throat lozenges absolutely set my tongue on fire, so I think we're going to be okay now. Everything is kind of kicked back into gear, back into life. And we start to see the emergence of some outposters. So, Funky Man, Lameness, 99 Names, and Trillaben out here to the west. I can't say this name right. Pozilger, Just Bob, Dr. Claw, and Dawid out here to the west as well for the north. Pavev and Joshua going deep to the east, to the west. And Red, Nice Knight. I'm going to call him Red, because I'm not going to say that the whole way through the game. What is this music? Do you know what? We'll leave it on. We'll leave it on. It's fine. It's only one song. Kajito and Craven Striker up north for the north on threat farming. Meanwhile, it's begun already, guys, for the south. It's already begun. They took the gun turrets from South Main and they brought them to the front line. I used to do that. It's good, it's not the best. But you could create a little smelting line where you build bullets off the back of, 1 or 2 small... Actually, I don't hate this. I don't mind this. You know, you're going to use these anyway, right? Or you're going to lose them, and they're just going to sit in the main base doing absolutely nothing for you. So you may as well make use of them. Leave one behind anyway with some mags in. Yeah, do you know what? Some would call it lazy. Other people would call it efficient. And then we've got, I guess these guys will be building up some kind of defensive base here as well. But yeah, it's begun. It has begun. Meanwhile, the North, though, is slightly later to the punch here. They want to get a base down first. It seems like there's one person up here doing that. There's no way this is a defensive base because you're miles away from the action. So is this the only defensive effort, potentially? Sorry, I just missed your chat there. There'll be a 2 weeks break of Biter Battles Captain. Okay, right. 2 weeks. Treating it like an NFL playoff, you know. They need time to have their bodies recover. There should be some coal. Yeah, there is. And quite a nice little patch here. And if you wanted to, it's a bit dangerous, but over time, these bugs will be forced backwards. You could make use of this patch as well. RJD, welcome, mate. So far, I think South have won the pick phase. I believe they've got some strong players on their team. And a good mixture of strength as well. Mixture of strong main base players and a mixture of strong threat farmers. Yeah. Oh, dude, talking about that, I got, not that it's a bit of a tangential one, but the YouTube stuff's really picking up now, and I've got the opportunity to start getting, like, sponsors, like Manscaped and all the rest of it, you know, where you plug a product. And I sat there and I was thinking, do I want to do that? Really? I mean, we're not talking, like, in terms of money, we're not talking about, like, thousands and thousands of pounds where, you know, I could fund my mortgage off the back of doing this, because if I could, I would. But I just thought, no, absolutely not selling out. But I sat down and I thought, I wonder if there is a product out there that I would actually endorse, that I would use. I do my research. That's the number 100%. I do not want my stuff made in sweatshops. I do not want the stuff I'm promoting to other people. Dude, if Pot Noodle came to me and said, hey mate, I know it's a bit of a joke, but we actually do advertise and we have people that are, you know, that have our adverts. I would. Or I'd write to their competition and say, hey mate, Pot Noodle have offered me this. What can you do for me? So I've hit that level now where the engagement is such that I can get myself a sponsor, but I get to choose. So what they do is, and I don't know much about this stuff, but what happens is that you write out a little profile about who you are, what you do, what you talk about. I make sure to mention that we don't talk about politics here. We don't talk about modern day current events. It's more about gaming, music, film. We talk about sports, fashion, all sorts, but not the touchy stuff. You put that together. Somebody then reviews your profile, and either companies will basically say, hey, we need, you know, X amount of people with this kind of profile to push our product. And then you get lined up as one of those people. They send you an offer. It tells you how much you need to promote their product and when, and what you need to kind of talk about. You can either like promote it yourself or read off a script. I don't know which one I'd do. I'd probably want to try the thing out for myself, which would be difficult if I'm like promoting tampons, right? But yeah, and you get a chance to review the product and give some feedback on it, and also sell it to your wider audience. And I don't know if, like, I'm not going to do it on a whim, by the way. Certainly not going to do it on a whim. But if there is one that's out there that works, that connects, you know, that maybe has some kind of charitable element to it as well. Because that was the thing I wanted to do more than anything. I'd rather just raise money for charity. That feature, I had that feature unlocked on Twitch a couple of months ago. As I was getting ill, I have the ability now to basically have like a charity appeal attached to my profile. And the way it works, I might be wrong in this, and I need to reread this again, but for every person that watches the stream, money is raised for that charity. and then the money that is raised for that charity, Twitch then matches. So let's say, for instance, I stream here for 3 or 4 hours and I make $4, right? $4, which is not much, but whatever, you know, it's $4. Twitch will donate that and match it to that charity of your choice, which I think would be great, you know. And again, non-political stuff, cancer research, right? You know, homeless charities, children's charities, all the stuff that need a bit of funding, that don't get, you know, billionaires just investing all of their wealth into that. So yeah, I'm going to give it a go. See where we go with that one. But I'm not selling out. Don't worry about it. That's not going to happen. I just think it's interesting now. I'm at a point where the algorithm, I don't know why. I think I was mislabeling the videos, if I'm being honest. I wasn't putting down the fact that they were in English. So it wasn't reaching English people. There's no other languages spoken in this channel other than gibberish by me. And I was every time I was uploading a video, I wasn't putting down the fact that the person who was speaking native English. So that's my bad, you know, that's my bad. But we solved that problem, and it's getting really good pickups. So yeah, and if any of you are watching from YouTube, welcome. I appreciate your support. It's been an interesting week, to say the least. And we've got a Space Age DLC run on the cards in between the beta battles. In fact, what a great way to start that DLC run off. We're going to have a 2-week break from the tournament. So that's I'm going to start my run then. We'll start our DLC run and see how far we get. And then from there, you know, we'll No, I'm going to do Space Age. The DLC, sorry. I'm going to run it out. I'm not going to do too much about this. I already probably have talked too much about this, but a very good friend of mine passed recently, and they were the one that introduced me to Factorio. Literally, we just built mega bases and weird, crazy train junctions, and just I spent like during lockdown. I never gave the game its time. I was always more into like competitive games. I want to get ranked. I want to be the number one. Like, I want to be the best at this game, right? If it's Counter-Strike, I want to be the highest rank. If it's Dota, I want to make sure I'm better than everyone. And it's just the way I was built, really, for video games. And he introduced me to a slower but more fun game called Factorio. And recently he passed. And I've been putting off doing the DLC for some time now. And I feel like it's kind of almost the right timing now to just do that as a run, you know. Not in his name, but you know, just to kind of symbolically, just, you know, I'm only going to run it once, and unless I have a group of friends that want to run it after the fact, but you know, why not explore that DLC? And I'm going to name a planet after him. Yeah. Again, I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to touch too much on it. That's probably the last time I'll speak about it this stream. But I look forward to it. I do look forward to the DLC. Meanwhile, back in the game. Yeah, dude, I know that like Space Age Beta Battles is really coming into its own. As well as there's been more UI upgrades for this as well. So things are really taking off, you know. I feel like there's a real appetite. You know, I used to when I used to upload these games to YouTube, you'd end up with a couple of hundred views, maybe 1,000 after like a couple months. The last quarterfinal game, last time I checked, it was on like 2,000 views. I uploaded it like a day ago, 2 days ago. So I don't know if it's the tournament itself, or maybe it's just the quality of the games, or maybe it's because I'm labeling the videos properly now and not being an absolute... Like I said this at the beginning, and you can hold me to this. I'm not like a pro streamer. I don't know all the ins and outs about how do you get the most engagement and how do you... I don't want to do like clickbaity thumbnails and shit like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck that. I'm not into that, but... I'm not good at promoting myself very well, and I don't know the tips and tricks that people use to get exposure and to get the out. I'm lucky the fact that people have found the videos even now. Like I was putting it down as gaming, and then you have the option to select which game, and I wasn't putting Factorio down like a fucking moron. Like obviously this is Factorio, And obviously, if I upload this to YouTube, it should fall into that category. But I was just putting it vaguely as gaming, which means that every Fortnite game video, every Call of Duty game video that had that tag gets mixed in with this. So yeah, my bad. I've learnt my mistake. I watched some stuff. I learnt some stuff. And yeah, that's not going to happen again. But back to the game, though. Back to the game. Huge power block on the south is going down. Smelting, as I expected, for both north and south is heading out to the east, moving to the right. The smelting lines aren't going up massively quickly, but we're only 15 minutes into the game. So down the line, hopefully we'll see a really large progression in this. They're slightly hamstrung by this small lake. If you do decide to build towards this, you'll have to landfill this later. And my argument would be, if you're going to smelt bricks early on, or use your stone at all early on, I'd be building bricks for a wall. You know, aggression is the name of the game, this game. It's the final quarter-final. One captain will be eliminated, and one captain will go through to the semis. So aggression has to be part of this. You cannot play a passive game here. There's no way you leave it to chance. And here we go. There we go. The beginnings of an aggressive play. Now obviously you need to build it, and it needs to be fed, and it needs to work. But if you can get that up and running, you're looking at the and again, here we go. It stands to reason. The North have, at the moment, nobody threat farm. Why are they? It's an interesting one. I said it at the beginning of this stream, actually, like, we need to see some aggression from both sides. Otherwise, the less aggressive side loses always. And I mean that, like, it's an always loss for the less aggressive side. I mean, there's probably one game out of the last 2, maybe 3 years of me streaming that I've seen where one side has won by being passive. And mostly that's because the other team didn't probably notice, you know, that they could get a punch in. But at the beginning here, at the 16-minute mark, Clutch has sent 60 green jugs over to the north, and the aggression's begun. The aggression has started. Now let's take a quick look at our stat sheet, because this will tell us a lot. So, you know, both have built a substantial amount of red signs and are using it to research, and we'll see that down here on our research tab. The North want to go through military, they want to get some shooting upgrades early on, that's quite interesting. And then they want to go automation 2. Meanwhile, gun turret for the South and heavy armor is being prioritized. That's for their threat farmers, they want to get those guys off the ground straight away. And yeah, green jugs being built and sent already. You just wonder. The North are built 44, the South 147. Wow, the South have outpaced them by 100 green jugs in the early game. Which, I'm being honest, is nothing to sniff at, because to have that level of production early on, you're either handcrafting, potentially, just handcrafting it out your back pocket, or you're just getting this down as fast as possible. And maybe this is it from these guys. Burn a city, feed this coal, and then just hand feed all of these elements and let the green tick in. Because all you need to do is get your enemy to an uncomfortable position, right? 6% is nothing. 16%, a bit more of a problem. 26%, yes. Massive, massive problem. And on easy mode, we're not going to only see green sends, but green sends are a strong indicator that one team is trying to knock the other one out of a rhythm. It's not giving you what you want. They're trying their hardest to kind of rattle you, battle you, and get you out of whatever goal that you want to achieve in the early game, because the bugs are stronger and there's more of them and they're coming in waves now. But we're in a quarter-final. So hopefully everybody is alive to this, but the raids have begun. You know, hopefully not too much is lost. And it's small packs of bugs like that are dangerous. Because as we know in Bite Battles, and as we see every week, and to the majority of you, if I can get my words out, you'll know for sure that games aren't just ended by attacks that come down from the top of the map. they also end by bugs making it round the edges and then swiping in to the side of your base. Like a gut punch, like a punch to the nuts. They don't just come in over the top, they also come round the side as well. And if the North don't protect for that, or if the North don't kind of gear their builders up to defend it, then we might see, well, this. So as we can see, Ozmeister has the beginner pistol, which you can upgrade straight away to a submachine gun. And straight away you can build firearms magazines and you can get grenades down the line. But there's just a couple of stone furnaces there that you just had a few seconds ago, right? Now, it's not the end of the world. In fact, it's not even that bad. But it's just annoying. You're just one step back. It's like running a race and having to pause for a second whilst everybody else moves forward. You know, losing something this early on is it is a big deal. It is a big deal. We saw a couple weeks ago, the bugs managed to raid labs. They managed to get all the way deep into the base and they managed to hit the labs. And with that, we saw, oh, interesting. Do we have military spam already? I think we do. Carl's gonna, oh, he's gonna stick down some mill spam. This I like. You cheeky devil, Carl. Look at him. Look at him go. His normal smelting lines up top. Military spam down south. Yeah, Carl knows what's up. He's got a game plan here. You don't go in blind to games like this. But you also need to be alive to raids like this. The bugs are at 11% now, which again are killable. Very killable, in fact. They just take a few extra bullets. And if you don't have the required... damn. Healing. You're going to lose some stuff. You know, losing a box, for instance, of like 400 to 500 bricks, it's not ideal. Not ideal. Remember, guys, press F in chat for our fallen homies. We've lost a miner up here. We lost earlier on a couple of smelters. It's not the end of the world, and they are creating millside, but yeah, damn, not ideal. Not ideal at all. But the main base continues to push. Research shouldn't be really massively ticking in. Neither team have their labs up yet. Production stats are looking... okay, North got there first for military science. Is anybody on the south moving to that, or are they just going on green? It looks like they're just going on green for now. Damn, this playlist is all over the place. It's wild. There we go. Finally! Finally! We see a game where both sides are aggressive towards each other. Arguably, the south more so to the north than the north to the south, but still, we're starting to knock people out of their rhythm here. You know, if I know you like to play the game one way and I'm against you, I'm going to try and stop you playing that way. And I need to come up with creative strategies in order to get you out of your rhythm. You know, if I know you like to punch with your left hand, well, guess what? I'm throwing you a couple of rights. So you block with it, and so you can't throw with it. You know, losing this at the moment for the North, not ideal. But the South should come under the same kind of pressure if the sends continue. Right? Because they're threat farmers at the moment. They're getting there. They're building up. Although the North seem a little bit under the pump. I'd like to see somebody at the bug line. There's nobody at the bug line for the North at the moment. Whereas here you have Zero Sun directly in the mix. Right in the middle of everything. Holding it down. Again, some more Flasco from the south to the north. The north now at 15%. Their Millside outpost, yeah, you can build another one. That'd be fine, I guess. And you can hand feed everything too, but... oh, I got a missed call. Give me a sec, guys. I just need to call this person back. Right, and I'm back. So, okay, sends are beginning to happen. The south are dealing with 10% bugs, the north 15, so there's 5% difference. Power has been hit in the north, although at 15%, we're not looking at a game-ending situation, we're just having our builder nerds get rattled a little bit. They have some problems they need to solve, and you hope that... Oh, now that is a large hit. That is a large, large hit. And another wave comes in. This outpost is doomed. It's cursed. What's gone on here, guys? Why has nobody run up? The one thing that irks me a little bit here is nobody ran to the very, very north. Another pack of bugs comes down. All of these packs are killable at this level. You just need nades or you need some ammo. Right? This guy has the starting pistol. It's not good enough, man. We're in a quarter-final game, guys. Tell your builder nerds. Build assault rifles. Get grenades. There we go. See this gun? See that? See how it's firing quick? It'll kill the bugs quick. You can build this the moment the game starts. You'll have that research instantly. Do not keep the beginner gun. The pistol is terrible. For anybody out there that's a pistol enjoyer, no. No. Why is nobody on the north doing this? That's my biggest... Yeah, they do. They both do. The north are sending military science. So not only are they building grenades, they should have a backlog of them. If you know, you could... Here you go. This one has 9 grenades inside of it. You can just grab out of these final builders and then you've got some on you. But like, look at this. That's a single grenade. You can group this up with a single grenade and just pop them. 18% now for the north, but the north are on positive threat, so they will get aggressed upon. And here we go, sideswipe, right in at the side, as well as one coming in from the north. And this base has big ambition. This isn't just a spam base. I'm sure this has got more than just a kind of cursory, you know, aggressive kind of mode to it all. But Claw is a vet. He knows what's up. He has both the machine gun and grenades at his hands, and he just solves a problem like that. Although there are more coming, yeah, he's fine for now. Healing will be the only issue, but, you know, you've got a water body here. You can grab some fish out of it down the line. And again, if you kill a power pole or two, it's not the end of the world, seriously. But yeah, this is... Alarm bells are ringing here, guys. Nobody went north straight away, so there's not been there's no buffer here. You know, I would need somebody. I would tell them, stop building spam, right? One of you do this. 3 or 4 of you go up here, man. Go up and attack the bugs. Take the fight to them. Meet them. Meet them at their place of rest and address. And now they've evolved into mediums already. If it was a struggle before, it'll be more of a struggle now. And again, I feel like in the beginning pick phase here, there were some picks that were missed. We have some mediums are on the board. Small being brown shelled, mediums are pink shells. They take more to kill. You can't really just shoot them down, you know. A grenade or two will do the job, but it feels like with a 2-man outpost out here, they are struggling. They're drowning at the moment in the pressure that the South have put on them. And I'm not wildly confident that they have enough. They can repel this wave for sure, 100%. Not a problem. But as you can see, these guys take more than a single grenade to kill. And they do take your buildings down a lot faster. As another wave comes and slams into the base, which is a shame because they're building pressure, they're building aggression themselves. But it's just, you know, what are you doing when you're coming back here? Other than fighting fires. It's a missed opportunity here. And again, we're talking about millimeters. You know, the game is as competitive as it is because each team knows there's a timing window to hit. And you have a 3-person group here with 2 more building spam. There are 5 people in a team of 22 that are actively either pressurizing their opponent with green or fighting the bugs. 5-person effort. Yeah, there is a sideswipe. A hefty sideswipe at that. And again, small bugs, not that difficult to kill, but we're at the 30-minute mark now. You know, do our builder nerds have enough? That turret's not going to survive, mate. You need to help out. You need to shoot as well. Where are you going? What are you doing? That's not going to work. Do you have a gun? Oh, you have a gun? You just don't have any bullets. That's a shame. If only there was a large iron source around you where you could build. This is more than a small issue. It's not a large one, and alarm bells aren't ringing yet, but the North at the moment are running around with their hair on fire. They do not have a solid grip on the game. The bugs have a solid grip on them. The South have a solid grip on the pressure that they're sending to the North. And at the moment, the North have not yet seen a single person reach the front line. Not one. Whilst an entire squad on the South have been at the front line. And that minus 3,000 buffer is important. It's massively important. Damn, it's already a really good game, dude. This is already a really, really good game. Now, it sucks if you're on the North, by the way. I don't mean good like, these guys are getting wrecked. But like, you've got to figure this out. And there are ways of solving this problem. And it's by taking like people and saying, look, you know, sack this off. Whatever this is, don't do it. Whatever this is, it's not working. Come back home for now. Or there are 5 of you here. 3 of you, sack this off, right? Because you don't need all of you here. Come join these 2 guys here and go and threat farm or go and help build up the spam. At the moment, there are more people outside the main base than there are in the main base. And the efforts and the pressure that's being put onto main, you know, either come back home or go up top. Look at that. That's a hell of a side swipe as well. That was nearly in at the spam as well. Damn. Now the South are actually dealing with harder bugs to fight. The South are at 25%, almost 26%. The North are only dealing with 22%, but they have that 3,000 buffer. They have people actively fighting, grouping, you know, efficiently just downing the bugs, 1 grenade at a time, 1 shell at a time, healing back up again. Now this will obviously work against the South if the bugs become too strong for them. The technology at the moment is at its lowest ebb. So they don't have, the South don't have their shooting upgrades, whereas the North do. The South have a load of exclusive research. But if the bugs become too strong and you lose that buffer, you're going to be dealing with a situation similar to this, where the pressure is coming from your side onto your side. And it's going to be rough. You need people to surf out here and catch these waves. Like Cogito right now. Jump in, grenade them. Problem solved, right? The rest of this you can work out, you know, with your gun or grouping them up and again with another grenade. Simple. Carl's getting aggressive. I like it. 30% now. So we're 20% off of the next evolution of these bugs. From mediums to bigs. Smalls are brown. Mediums are pink. Big bugs are blue. And these guys will not survive big bugs. So potentially the military science spam could have worked out for them, but you know, the North is still dealing with pressure here. We see 3 different waves coming in now, all towards main base. 4 different waves, all coming into 5 different waves. 5 waves crashing onto every part of your map. Just Bob goes down. Power to the North is now aggressed upon as the gun turret it runs out of targets to shoot. There's so many of them, it can't make its mind up. And although people make it to the problem areas, there's more than one problem area, as another body of Ausmeister goes down. And you just kind of wonder, when do you get room to breathe here? If you're on the North, when do I get a chance to just breathe and stop fighting stuff? You know, when do I have to stop fighting problems and fighting fires here? Why can't I just build my base up? And the answer is because the North kind of got you, the South got you a little bit here. This base is not long for this world if you can't defend it. There are grenades sat inside of these buildings, and yet the pressure has just come onto them. And the South maintain that 2,000, 3,000 buffer they have. For how long? That's the main question here. But ultimately they have the buffer. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it or not have it. And more waves flood into the North. Now, if we take a quick look, I don't think the game's getting anytime soon, so I will take a quick look at the mutation log here. 637 from north to south, and then 1500 green from south to north. And if we take a look at that in terms of statistics, the south haven't thrown everything that they've built. In fact, the south haven't built any military at all. They've sent most of their green, but they've consumed about 400 of it. So I'm getting my numbers mixed up here. 1 second. There's a difference of 400 in sent and consumed. My bad. Misreading this. Whereas on the military side of things, out of 952 jugs produced, 637 have been sent. So there's still more military signs to go across. Fascinating game, though. But this is what it should be like. Both teams have a lot of issues to deal with as the southern buffer begins to fade. That minus 3,000 number that was there a few seconds ago is now minus 2,600, as the bugs at 33% strength are so much harder to kill. Red Wraith will do as best he can, and you can still kill these guys. But again, 33 with one more send becomes 34.8. We are not far off from seeing big bugs on the pitch. And big bugs, in any estimation of the game, unless you have a wall and some flame towers behind it, are a problem. A big, big problem. And I wonder, is this all working? Yeah, it's all ratioed relatively correctly. We're not running out of anything anytime soon. And they're just... I mean, this base is just getting slammed. Look at this. Just devastation everywhere. They haven't really had a chance to breathe. Like, I feel like they stuck everything down. It started working. They had their first line of spam up, and then everything just rained in on them. And they're very lucky that these 3 waves here have just bypassed and just shifted on towards their power block, which again, if this goes down, that's GG for sure. Surely. Yeah, wave here, wave here, wave here. All right next to main, all very close to the silo. At 24%, they are 10% weaker. But does Morgan have anything for this? Do you have a grenade? Do you have anything? Kite them away? Grenade them down? Do you have any ammo? Like... Okay. Shotgun's doing work. We like this. Good kiting back. Bringing the bugs away from the danger area. And it's fine if a few still exist. Just ride the wave out. Ride the wave out. Good stuff. That's good defense. And the north still holds their spam. Alright, cliff build. What are we up to out here to the west? Just standard issue building for now. Maybe some more late game stuff. Potentially purple if we get there, but I don't know, dude. I don't know. I think military might do the trick here. You could even be as bold as to send some blue just to get yourself over the line. Build blue signs and then just pump that over to the other enemy's team to give yourself that 4, 5, 6% advantage to get you over the line to 50. That'd be massive. And that'd be one hell of a play to make if somebody does make that play. But let's check in on main. I haven't even had a chance to look down here. Oh, damn. No way. No way. We don't get there. Get out. We don't get to purple, surely. That's wild, mate. There's no fucking... It's even... They've queued it up. They've queued up purple. Serious? They're confident, mate. The South are confident. They've got this. Their buffer holds for now at 2,600. Need grenades, guys. Throw grenades at these guys, like. You can kill the purple ones off later. Interesting. Get some gun turrets have been made by Massive Blue. I'm not sure I like that. I don't... Yeah, no weapon upgrades as well. So if eventually like the threat does fall, and it is now starting to build, into a positive, you kind of wonder if they're ready for that. You know, are they researching anywhere near? They're not. Advanced oil. Damn, these guys, holy crap. If the North win, these guys are going to be bloodied to no end. They have not had a fun game. Have not enjoyed this whatsoever. Here we go. They're no longer able to sustain a strong level of threat farm. Yes, they can give it 100 or 2 every now and again, but the bugs are around and they're going for your walls right now. Another death. What a pressure cooker of a game this is. For a quarter-final, especially, I expect the semis to be amazing. I expect the grand final to be an absolute banger. But so far, guys, like... yeah, bring it on. Gun turrets at dawn. Oh, damn. What a waste of resources. But if you need them, then use them, you know? Because there's nothing else helping you out here. And I genuinely cannot believe that I'm seeing this already. They're just waiting. Hammer cocked to pull the trigger on this. Everything is lining up right now. For the first... you don't even need a lot. You won't even need a ton of it. You just need a small amount of purple. And the game is just thrown wildly out of sync. For either the north or the south. And the north hadn't sent for a while now. Like, have you noticed that? The north began sending. They began the aggression. And then it kind of just... it just stopped. 37 minutes. It was all them to begin with. And the moment the military started coming in, I think they've just kind of cut their ties with that green spam. And they're focusing on progression now. Let's progress. Let's get through. Let's keep pushing. Let's, you know, every now and again we'll send something, but we, you know, just let's get to the next tech. And the buffer holds, but not really. What's the adaptation here? Are we going to look at flamer turrets maybe? This has run its course, surely. And there's also these bases out here too. Like, we're not seeing any of this come into play yet. So what we could potentially see down the line is like the north just absolutely just upgrade, level up. And with all of these like sub bases, these outposts kicking into gear, just they go turbo and the south can't handle it. And we see some flame towers. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Spam continues. At a decent rate. I mean, this is all hand-fed, by the way, so it's not like, you know, you can't automate this to just churn out science as you want it. Red Wave goes down again. The buffer is not strong. There's only 900. And what kind of defenses do they have? None. 900 goes to 800. 800 to 88. 56. 24. 7. Has PPVL caught this at the right time? I don't know, dude. Surely it goes positive, surely. There's no way on your own you can't threat farm against this at that speed, right? There needs to be more of you. You can't get to the bugs fast enough for it to not go positive. And it's ticked in at 42%. We have positive bugs on the south side. Again, the way this works is he'll dip it back every now and again into the negative, but you're fighting a losing storm here. You're fighting a build-up that you cannot overcome. You know, you need stuff in your arsenal. You need stronger guns. You need stronger everything. And yeah, the south might be in a lot. In fact, no, they are in a lot of trouble right now. They began their threat farming really well. The north just belligerently pushed through. And if it wasn't for this base, by the way, and if it wasn't for this base just absorbing impact after impact after impact. Oh, damn. Some people are very upset with each other right now. The south are in a lot of trouble here, though. Although the north still have some aggressive bugs coming towards them. Purple is yet to turn itself on. What is this music? This isn't the right... No. The wall's been broken into as well, by the way. And the bugs become so strong that, yeah, they just run you down. They're going to run into now the main base area. And we can start to see now, I mean, we've been looking north at most of the aggression, but... oh, hi, Sizik. Did I spell it wrong? I probably spelled it wrong, mate. I'm sorry. It's been a very, very long week/weekend. No, I probably got it wrong, mate. I tapped it out. I got back late, so I've had to like rush tapping out my when it goes up to YouTube, I'll do it properly. Yeah, the South are no longer enjoying a negative threat buffer. They will start to see bugs aggress over the course of the map. We do know, for instance, that there are some very aggressive side attack patterns that can be had, and they're no, it's fine, mate. I don't mind. I don't mind at all. I do that often. I don't think I'm dyslexic. I just, in a rush, I just fat fingered the wrong word. But it's my language, and I can butcher it how I want. But welcome, mate. I hope you're having a good weekend. Yeah, this is the final quarter-final game. And then after this, and this has been good so far. Like, this has actually been, in terms of a swing, like, you'd think the North are winning, right? Because the South are in really, like, high positive threat. But they're kind of, like, having their own issues here. Like, look at the bugs, dude. They are already here. And I agree, they're only 28% strength at the 46-minute mark. But, like, the South caught them off guard. And now it's all more or less a case of, like, can the South handle this kind of pressure? Because I think the answer to that is probably no. They have some strong threat farmers, though. I agree as well. They are overextending. But I just wonder if they've bought themselves enough time to get this online, right? I just wonder if... I don't know. I don't know if the game goes on this long. All the North need to do to the South is get them to 50%. The bugs will then jump one stage up in evolution, go from mediums to bigs, and they are unmanageable. It's very good they've got their flame towers up here, but again, I spoke about earlier on, the bugs will come round the base, right? You need walls everywhere. And this is incredibly quick because it is a quarterfinal game. Both captains have a strong plan. They wouldn't be in the quarterfinals if they didn't. But I'm just, you know, something's got to give, right? It's that immovable object versus the unstoppable force. And I'm sat there thinking that immovable object might be big bugs. It is nice, it is, but I just worry, you know, the bugs are still over here, you know, like eventually they will just break free and make a run, you know, make a run down the map. So Zero Sun is doing his patented car run, which again will drive the threat down, but these bugs are taking more than 1 or 2 grenades to kill. So eventually, and obviously you have to make sure you don't get trapped, eventually you'll burn through your resources far too fast. And here the main base have already got a full pack of medium bugs on top of them. And it comes back down to, are they holding the right level of defense on them right now? You know, you do not want to be shooting a pistol at these guys. You need to be throwing multiple grenades, and that's one wave. The North have been enduring this for a long time now. I mean, they've been dealing with that 20-odd minutes, where waves after waves after waves just slamming into there. But here we go, another one right here. Just slamming into the base. And even now still, this base is like the sacrificial lamb. It's like, just build it up, let them fight it. As long as they're not attacking main base, I'm okay with it. Throwing this one to the wolves. No, they're still waiting on the... Oh, no, they have. Oh, no. Are we going to see another swing? This has been the game of the tournament so far. I'm telling you now, guys, if there's a single game that you want to watch of how this should be played, of how a good, strong, oppositional game of Might Battles is played, this is it. You do not allow your opponent any breathing room whatsoever. You don't let them have the plan they want. You have to give them the plan that they cobble together through the pressure that you give them. And both teams have done that for each other. And we're now sat at a point where the South are almost at 50%. There's no real wall on the edges. But their threat farmers are going to keep pushing. Meanwhile, the North are enjoying weaker bugs, but more of them coming in and fighting their base. And they have these outposts out here. And just like that, I've managed to land on, an outpost that might have some problems in a second, which are building up towards purple. Again, as long as you don't lose it. And Pavev's on his own out here. If he dies here to this wave, this base is gone. It's a real risk you take. And Pavev's a good player, by the way. Very strong player. But another one out here, Joshua, right? We have some red chips being built. And the first 50 goes across. Damn, dude. I'm panicking Skywalker right now if I'm on the North. Let's take a look at what that's done for the mutagen. 48. Well, in total, over 60 jugs have been sent, sending the evolution from 29.9% to 30, almost a 10% jump. A 10% jump with 60 jugs is pretty substantial. Yeah, I had them. It was in the, and at this point in the game, if you lose anything like that, it's kind of game changing. Now the South can still, I mean, they're 0.3%. Send some blue. You have blue, right? Send some of this. Throw some blue over it. You need to get them up by 0.3%. 0.3%, guys. And they are dealing with... Oh, no. This could be it. They've missed their chance. Alright, bigs are on the table for the South now. Big blue shell bugs will eventually start to spawn. Brown shell bugs will begin extinct. The majority of the pack size and strength will be mediums, followed by some big bugs. We'll see them pop in very, very soon. Here we go, first big. And they're so hard to kill at this time. You don't have the upgrades, you don't have anything really to deal with them, and it's just tanking through your damage, right? That's one bug. Down the line, there's going to be 10, 15, 20 of them all packed up together. And the North are 2% away from having their own big bug problem. And the question here is, like, how can you survive? These waves are huge. And both teams now are divided by 0.2% of a difference. 0.2%. It's just the difference here is the waves are enormous for the North. Look at this. How do you deal with that? I guess you don't. I mean, we'll follow it through. There's another one over here. No. Oh, God. They're in so much trouble. They don't even know. And they've just gone beyond the big bug stage as well. So this is the weakest thing they're going to see. In the next 10 minutes, this is the weakest bug wave they will see. It's only getting worse from here. This is such a spicy game. And look, that's a double wave there. Maybe even a triple wave. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, or 13, 14 grenades for 3 waves. Meanwhile, South are dealing with their own problems too. The waves are going to start to build up, and there's no more threat farming for either side right now. They do not have the upgrades, they do not have the capability or the facility to deal with that like that. You know, Red Wraith copying himself. And yeah, they've got the jump, I think, the North, on purple. They've got the jump here by quite some margin as well. They'll build 498 jugs, almost 500 at the 50-minute mark, and they've sent over 400 of them. Now, walls do exist. Let's see what they're dealing with on the North. Here we go. Big bugs. Really, really big bugs. And again, these gun turrets are not going to do anything. I would be very surprised if they have anything other than some shooting upgrades. It's so early in the game. This is this is tournament biter battles, quarterfinals. And they have done the number crunch. They have run the numbers. And the South have gone, yeah, what about some purple, mate? How about purple at the 50-minute mark? I don't think you can handle it. Behemoth at 90%, yes, correct. Which, again, is not far. Oh, no. Oh, dear. That's not what you want to see in main right now. Like, that's not what you want to see at all. What about the South? They're enduring, right? The South are enduring. Their threat farmers managed to kite this out. Jimmy's continually just sending out the purple spam. And again, the bases on the north just haven't managed to get to that final stage of building purple themselves, right? If this goes online, and purple begins to be produced, then these two bases alone with main base absolutely win the game, but it won't happen. It's too late. The bugs have arrived. They're big, they're mean, and they want this space back for themselves. And I don't know where that wave is going, but it will come back round, I'm sure. And these walls won't last forever, and this base won't stand forever either. And it comes back down to a point that I made at the very beginning of the game. Now, it's not game over, by the way. I'm certainly not saying that. What I am saying, though, is this is a very, very difficult position to handle. Even for the most seasoned of players. This position, this level of defense, very difficult to ride out and to make work for you. And I think that as it stands right now, we may be seeing an incredibly fast end. The point that I made at the beginning of the game is the reason why I thought the South had a bit of an advantage, is that they got one of the better or one of the best threat farmers on top of the one of the best main base builders. And what we've seen now is everything clicked right into place at the right time. And they're lucky that these bugs are only going for the wall at the moment. They're not going for anything else. And a 70% bugs on the north. It's just wild. Like, a few grenades can get rid of these. Yeah, that's fine. Poison capsules will absolutely do the trick. Carl coming up with some innovation right now. He's not giving in. A single poison capsule is more than enough to deal with this. This is absolute carnage, mate. Now all of the waves are just big. And you can see now grenades are basically rebounding off of them. Carl has got the right idea. I would be asking all of my team to build poison capsules right now. Build 5 of them if you can. 10 of them if, get as many of them as you can in your hands and throw them, because if you want to survive and get these 2 satellite bases to purple, and they're more than capable of doing that, by the way, apart from the fact that the research hasn't been kicked in yet, you're going to have to defend for your life. And to do that, you need those capsules. You need them now. You need them yesterday, because that is no joke. That is no joke defending. That wave has just taken out 3 human players, all of who had grenades on them. This is carnage. But it's not over till it's over, right? The South they've still got some issues, like they're still on positive threat, but their threat farmers are kind of at the front line, kiting and just moving and shaping the bugs in a way which works for them, and taking the fight to the bugs. And what we didn't see from the north, as you can see, not much of the north map has been revealed. Nobody made it to the front line on the north. They kind of built this base up, and then it all ended here. The aggression, this is their front line effectively for the north, before this wall came down. And then before, this wall came down and that wall came down. And all the walls came down, because there are no walls anymore. I have a concept of a wall. But the purple scent, it seems to be just throwing the north into absolute cyclone of aggression from the bugs. And yes, they have some flame towers, and yes, flame towers are, potentially very strong and very good against them. We're not far off 90% bugs. And waves like this, there's not much you can really do about them unless either of these players have a poison capsule on them. I'm guessing Red Nice Knight doesn't. Kind of dead here. What are they running into next? Our power block? Are we happy about this? Do we have any problems any way we can solve this? Poison cap? Anybody? Poison capsule? Power's going down, guys. It's unfortunate. I don't say that with a level of glee or happiness, but this is a problem that we have to solve as a team, or it will solve our problems for us by ending the game. I heard a great saying many, many years ago, God gives his silliest problems to his funniest clowns, and this is one hilarious problem to solve. No, you don't need power. Solar panels, mate. That's the future. But yeah. This is a funny ass problem to solve. And I just don't know if... Yeah, look at that. At the 1 hour mark, exactly. Big bugs are tentatively, precariously poised close to the northern silo as they chew through some coal miners, some power blocks. They're not just chewing through, they're decimating, flattening the power block on north. The purple sends from south to north seem to have upended them as another wave floods through. Poison capsules sit on top of the silo, so potentially could burn the bugs down. But yeah. They're in, and they're on top of your silo. And unfortunately for Carl, that is the end of his run this tournament. GG, well played, everyone. That was... You know, I could make a joke that the picking phase was longer than the game, but it was a good game. It was actually a really good game. All things considered, like, the timing difference from purple was 9 minutes, and in that 9-minute gap, the South built 1,482 purple signs in a 9-minute gap. That's wild. Absolutely wild. And again, yeah, just the aggression just kept pouring through, and nobody made it up here. As you can see, not a single enemy base, not a single worm has been taken out. It's just they never made it to the front line. You know, they needed to set up something up here and just send it into the bugs. Instead, they had the bugs come to them. You know, aggressive defense wins games. Aggressive defense, and that's exactly what our defensive players were doing on the south. They were just all up in the business of the bugs. So let me resolve our prediction real quick. And unfortunately, it's not going to be a long stream today, but you know, my voice will thank you. It's very raw and scratchy and pretty screwed up at the moment. But I'm saying right now that is the best game of the tournament because it was swinging backwards and forwards multiple times. I just want to end, or not end, because we're not going to end just yet, but I just want to say, guys, I've added more incentives for your pot noodles, one of which is freestyle wrapping. If you save up enough or win enough pot noodles, you can spend them on that, and I'll do a freestyle. Right off the top of my head, I promise you, no pre-written lines or anything. And there's also story time as well, and I'm going to use those incentives during the pick phase, during the kind of deader times of the game to lighten the mood as well. I've also, right next to me, and I really want to test this out, so let me know if this comes through really loud or not. Actually, I'm going to put it far away so that it doesn't blow everybody's ears off, but can you hear this? Right, I need to check the sound quality. I need to check that I don't want it to be like all distorted and stuff.